So Orpheus is really excited this year to be presenting Brad Mehldau's Variations on a Melancholy Theme. This is a work that we commissioned from Brad to write for the orchestra, and of course with him as a soloist. Brad Mehldau represents a long line of great composer, improviser, performers that go back to Mozart and Vivaldi. I mean, Brad Mehldau is one of the great chamber musicians alive today. And the way that he plays, the way that he writes, the way that he communicates with a single musician, with a group of musicians, is the same thing that we do with an orchestra. He's looking for kind of flexibility and for input from the orchestra itself. So that makes an incredible combination, and I'm sure in the end it's going to be really an amazing experience for not just the orchestra and Brad, but for the audience as well.
I first came across Brad probably back in the early 90s. There is a bar up at Broadway and 106th Street. I think at the time it used to be called Augie's. And I walked by and I remember listening to this amazing pianist. Like, who is that? And later on I found out that it was Brad. And when his first CD came out called Introducing Brad, I just loved it. And when I realized he was writing a piece for us, I got really, really excited because I love his music.
You know, this piece is written in a theme and variations form. Well, theme and variations form is a very, very strict classical form. We don't really think of that in terms of jazz, but what's really interesting about the way Brad kind of uses this form, and it certainly is there is a classicism to the way that he structured the piece, but each variation, the relationships of the sounds, the relationships of the rhythm, the relationship of the characters really has his stamp on it.
So many pieces we play require really knowing so much about the piece and what was the composer's intent. With Brad's piece, On a Melancholy Theme, it's self-evident. I mean, the style speaks for itself. There's melody, there's kind of bluesy kind of feeling, the jazz pervades the whole thing, and it's wonderful. Just a lot of fun to play. And Brad being at the rehearsal and playing in the group obviously has its advantages. He can tell us how fast or how slowly or who should come out a little bit more. It's great.
You know, over the years, Orpheus has really made it a signature part of its whole identity to commission new works. But we don't often get to tour with these new works. So this is really exciting for us to take this new work on tour. And not only that, but we're going to be able to do it multiple times. And having worked with Orpheus for now 38 years, something like that, one of the really great things about Orpheus is that after a performance, the piece reaches a certain level, and then the second performance is even higher level, and the third, it's almost a geometrical ratio. So by the time we play a piece 4 or 5 times in a row, and we've created this group consciousness that really expresses itself on the stage, when the level of concentration, the level of focus, and the level of kind of unanimity is really an extraordinary experience. So we're excited about having the opportunity to do Brad's piece like this.